What's going on, everyone? Well, Alex Lynn has been terrible, right? Like, tried to give him a fair shot. Obviously, even his very first game with the Lakers was awful. But, I wanted to give him a fair shake, a fair chance, a fair opportunity of like, hey, can he kind of figure some stuff out? Right? He's kind of just getting thrusted whirlwind into this. And it ended up just not working out that way. He still, to this day, is terrible. And it sucks, right? Because you don't want that, especially on the Lakers, especially at a position that we desperately could use. And we're going to play the Minnesota Timberwolves that have a size advantage on the interior and have a real interior presence. It'd be nice to have that big physical interior presence that could help kind of offset some of that and box out Rudy Gobert and just kind of make things difficult, right? And you look at Alex Lynn and it's like, yeah, I'd rather go with Rui Hachimura and just kind of stick that route. Now, look, regardless, Lakers are even if Alex Lynn was great, unless he was just like that good, right? Even if he was like, okay, like he deserves some rotation minutes. Lakers are more likely than not still going to go small ball, in particular against the Minnesota Timberwolves, just because that's their best bet to win this series rather swiftly, right? Like, Minnesota has the interior size and advantage, but I don't believe Minnesota is going to be able to match up with the Lakers. And I think the Lakers are going to essentially play Rudy Gobert off the floor, right? Having that sort of death lineup where, you have Luka, Reeves, Dorian Finney-Smith, Rui Hachimura, and LeBron James. You have five guys that can shoot, that can stretch the floor. Rudy Gobert has to defend. And all of those guys can even step out and knock down the mid-range and shoot over the top if you create the space, right? So, and I imagine Lakers are going to put a Rudy in several pick-and-roll actions and just kind of go at him. Get him out in space and just attack him and be aggressive and look to kind of target him on the offense side. We've seen teams every time Rudy Gobert is in the playoffs, that's the plan that usually works, dating back to the Utah days, right? So I imagine that the Lakers are going to kind of follow suit here, and that'll be their approach to kind of offset the size and kind of make the Timberwolves have to play the Lakers game rather than the Lakers having to play the Timberwolves game, which they're just not capable of. But it would still be nice to have that guy that in a pinch, in a moment, you could throw out there and just be, a physical type of center and just give you that size. And saw people, even in the post-game stream and stuff, ask me like, hey, what about Trey Jemison? Are they going to bring Trey Jemison in, right? We've talked about it before. If they were going to do it, I even said even after they signed Jordan Goodwin, I said they'll probably bring in Jordan Goodwin. But if they bring in a Trey Jemison, more likely than not, it's not going to happen until right before the playoffs, right? Great example, a couple seasons ago, Tristan Thompson. They brought in Tristan Thompson right before the playoffs started, like literally the day before they went into the playoffs. So the Lakers, you got to remember though too, because some might look at it and go, yeah, but it was like so much earlier. Yeah, because the Lakers were the play-in, right? Like this year, it's such a beautiful thing, by the way. I know I'm digressing here a moment, but can we just take a minute? I'm going to, every opportunity I have, it's great to be a playoff team and actually have rest, but back on track, right? Lakers now have that extra week to kind of really think it over, mull it over, maybe get a couple practices in with guys and kind of see like, okay, do we want to go with Trey Jemison? Do we really want to waive Alex Lynn? Right? Because you got to keep in mind, if the Lakers waive anybody, they're not playoff eligible, right? Anybody waived after March 1st, which I want to kind of sit on for a moment because, pause, I get comments of like, oh, we can't waive this. You can, right? You can waive a guy literally up until, the end of the season, literally last day of the season, before the postseason, right? However, a player isn't eligible. So I think a lot of people get confused by that March 1st deadline and think like, oh, that's the deadline to waive a guy. No, it's just the deadline in which that player becomes playoff eligible, in which they can go to a new team. So, for example, say we waive Alex Lynn, well, then now he can't go and sign with a team that maybe needs a center right before the postseason, right? He is stuck at home watching the postseason. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. If I'm being honest, right, before I continue to dive down this rabbit hole for everybody, I think it's safe to say that the Lakers are probably not going to do that. They'll probably just keep Alex Len. And I know some people are probably going to look at that and go like, absolutely not. But here's the thing. They gave their word to Alex Len. Alex Len literally signed with the Indiana Pacers and backed out of that signing to then go to the Lakers. And yes, I understand, hey, sucks to suck type thing, but it's an important position. However, if you're the Lakers, you don't want to send that negative message to the league for that next guy that's willing to do it, that goes like, oh, if it doesn't work out, they're just going to cut me and they're not going to care and they're going to do it right before the season so I can't play in the playoffs and kind of screw me here, right? And that next guy could be a guy that ends up being a difference maker. Markieff Morris, who is on the Lakers, is a great example of that. Remember, we got him off of a buyout right before we ended up going there, right? And he had options and chose the Lakers, right? And we ended up winning a championship with him, right? So you don't want to scare off any potential future free agents that you may be able to sign because you decided, hey, Alex Len's trash, let's get off of him, right? It's just sometimes you got to kind of just bite the bullet and just go, all right, like we'll just keep him as break glass in case of emergency. And again, even if you did go with and bring in a Trey Jemison or, a Moses Brown or something like that, Lakers are still probably going small for most, if not all of those games. Right? Like the only way that they're really playing is if like Jackson Hayes gets into foul trouble or something or gets ejected from a game and it's like, we don't have any other choice. Like we can't play Rui 50 minutes, right? Like we need to throw Alex Len out there for come. Chances are he's probably never going to see the court. And same thing with the Trey Jemison, same thing with any of those guys. So keeping Alex Len, I don't think is the end of the world. Right? It sucks, but he's not going to be on the roster beyond this season. But it's one of those things where it's like, you don't want to look bad, right? Yeah, the Mark Williams situation, organizations are not happy that you fleeced the Dallas Mavericks for Luka, and then you go and sabotage and right, you're going to have free agency in like 2 months, even, when the Lakers win the NBA championship, a month after that, they're looking at, free agency, and you don't want to kind of ruin that. Right, you still need a 15th guy on the roster, and Alex Len can be that for you. It sucks that you don't have that center, and maybe the Lakers waive another guy or two, but I think they're probably better off just maintaining the small ball. However, I do think that there is a real argument to be had of like it's better to have a guy like a Trey Jemison and not need him than need him and not have him. And we can't trust and believe in Alex Len, so now it's like we might as well not even have it. You know what I mean? If you're picking up what I'm putting down, I don't know if I explained that properly, but point is that I'd rather have a guy in Trey Jemison that has proven that he can be a competent NBA player out there and really kind of fit what the Lakers need, come in, be a 6-foul guy type thing. You're not looking to play him 30 minutes a night. Or if anything, he's playing 10 to 15 minutes, maybe not even that, just kind of spot minutes. Again, maybe just literally come in and just be, a hard playoff foul. Nothing dirty, but just a good hard playoff foul type of guy. And so I would prefer to have a guy like that rather than, again, an Alex Len who he's just plays so soft, and it's just like, yeah, he's big, but it's like, dude, you're not playing the way that we need him to play and kind of maximize his size, right? Yeah, he's 6'11", 2 or 7 feet, 250, right? But you want him to play that way. Jameson plays that way. Is Jameson a little clumsy? Is he like the bet? No, of course, like he's stumbles over himself. He, gets a little, flagrant happy and stuff like that, or technical happy. But that's fine. You need those guys. You need a guy to come in and just isn't afraid to just, push somebody and cause a little bit of a squabble. Right? Give me that. Right? Like, I would prefer to have it. I would love to have it. I think he's a guy that could make an impact, come in, give you just some solid minutes, big physical, hold his own. You could even throw him at a Rudy Gobert. If you end up playing, the Grizzlies in the second round, right? Say they get the 7th seed and beat the Houston Rockets. You play the Grizzlies in the second round, and now you got a Zach Edey. It'd be nice to have a guy like a Trey Jemison that you could just throw out there to just bang with him and keep up with him, because he's not this like great imposing center, but he is still 7'4", 300 pounds, right? Like, he's still a big boy. But nonetheless, I think they should do it. Bring in Trey Jemison. I don't think they will. Who knows? Maybe while you're watching this video, it happens. But either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know either way down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you think the Lakers should bring in Trey Jemison? Do you think, like, nah, stay away from Trey Jemison? Kind of mixed in the middle. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you want to like this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. It's me enjoyed these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.